finally live. Um, Hopefully the picture's a lot better in the streaming. I got one of the new, most modern cell phones. The I think it's the L24, GL24, whatever, by Samsung. So a lot of you were saying some of the live film pictures weren't doing that great. I know some of the pictures weren't that great anyway. So I got a fire going behind me, something like a nice fire. But I figured we'd do a little live chat, see how everybody's doing Saturday evening. And I got a little project I want to do. So I'm going to work on this project as you're enjoying the fire. I might sneak you around a little bit. I'm going to show you. We'll be working on some cookies. Let me tilt it there. That's there. That makes for an interesting shot there. Anyways, I got a bucket of cookies here. I've been meaning to get to. I want to get them done before they get too dry. I'll have to switch the camera up and down a little bit. But I got a whole bunch of walnut cookies. Some of them are starting to dry out a little bit more. And check, I probably waited a little too long. Probably should have done it a little sooner. But I kind of had a slight delay. I had a incident with my thumb. So that's a long story. Before everybody gets mad because my shop was, oh, your shop is horribly dirty and that's why it happened. What happened in this situation was not because there was a few dust laying around and stuff like that. It was a freak accident where my glasses broke. A board kicked up a little bit. My glasses broke. And when they did, I lost all my up-close vision and I grabbed the board that kind of kicked up a little bit. And because I did that, I did not realize I pushed my hand, this hand down that far, and I pushed it into the blade. So it was a knee-jerk reaction for me to protect my face from the board. I already had this hand on the pushing device. I have pushing devices to push them through the saw, but unfortunately this hand went down to protect my face and went onto the table saw, and I cut it 3/4 of the way off. But I'm going to keep it, and they did a great job at fixing it up. So I'll be following up with that next week. So as I got these nice chocolate. I got chocolate on my mind again. Nice fire. And I got these walnut cookies. They're not huge. I have like really big ones, but I didn't have any medium size. So I figured I would try some of these. So enjoy the fire a little bit. I'm going to run into the shop here and get the penacryl to treat these with. And you can enjoy the fire. And I'm going to soak these in the penacryl and get these treated, for the big reveal in about a year, I guess. Maybe not quite a year. It'd take about a good year if I didn't treat them in anything, but the treatment kind of speeds it up a little bit, stabilizes the cookies. I got some big cherry cookies that are probably this big around. They're probably about this way. They're 22, not quite 24-inch cookies. I'll grab one that we treated back in August. In between doing this and having a nice fire going, I'm going to go ahead and grab one of those, couple of those cherry cookies, and I'll show you one of the cherry cookies that I did not treat versus one of the cherry cookies that I did treat. So I would turn a little music on in the background. Copyright, so I can't have any music going. So sorry guys. I wish you could do that. Sometimes it's nice to have just a little music in the background, but let me go get that material. Enjoy the fire. Yeah, and also, if y'all have any questions or anything, I know some of you guys are from out of country, and I know I was doing the bowl turning there for a while, and I want to get back to it. I've got caught up on products for the booth and online, and I've kind of went crazy building them. So I can now take a break and start doing some fun stuff like this. I'm going to have to let my thumb heal before I can do a whole lot of anything. It's kind of hard to grab anything. I mean, it moves, and I haven't lost the color or the feeling in it totally. So prayers that continues to heal and I don't lose it, and they don't have to take it off. So let me grab that bucket stuff real quick. And it's a pretty good sized bucket. I'm running low though. I'm going to have to get with them again and get some more of that stuff. I think since I have this container here, and before I didn't have cookies that I could fit in the container, and this time I do, I can work on it and do it in the soaking. The soaking method is what they prefer, is that you soak it. So we will soak some of these. I got to be really careful not to get any of this on my hand here. That would not be good to be in a freshly stitched up wound. So let me go grab my gloves. I got gloves to wear. Find my brush too. I got a brush in here somewhere. An older brush. Just not sure what I do with it. There we go. I might have to go find a few more logs to put on the fire. Looks like one of them rolled out. So let me clean this out here. I don't even remember what this thing is from. I don't even remember where the heck I got this container. I don't even know what it's for. Knowing me, I picked it up from some yard sale or something, thinking, oh, that'd be a cool bucket or something for something. Which it is. We'll get that cleaned out. So, yeah, let me go ahead and dump. I'm going to dump a little bit of that solution in here into the bucket. Got to be really careful not to get any of this on my hand. So I'll make sure that this hand and this thumb stays way back here. There we go. Actually, I need more than that. Actually, I need quite a bit more than that. Just try not to end up with it all on me. I like this big container. I went and bought some more small containers and put some more in it. So I'll take a couple of these cookies here. I'm going to try to brush them off a little bit. Get some of the stuff off of them. I don't know if it's 100% necessary. Alright, and we'll just take and set that sucker right in there. Like that. Probably do a couple of them. I'm wearing my kind of nicer clothes. I probably should have gone and changed. That probably would have been a smart thing, but it's kind of a spur of the moment thing. I figured it was a Saturday evening. Some of y'all might be just sitting around the house watching woodworking programs or woodworking things. And I figured this would be a neat little project to do. I know a lot of people enjoy doing cookies. So, one thing about doing the soaking method, you can definitely get the bark covered really good in this way. So What kind of projects are you guys working on these days? All my fellow woodworkers. What is your spring goals? Do you got any crafters here that do like the fairs or the like yard sales and stuff like that and sell their work? How about birdhouses? Anybody doing any birdhouses right now for the spring? I'm thinking about starting to build a few and see if people are interested in them. But I got to find something to put these in, or plastic or something to put them on. I'm gonna leave them back in here when I'm done. Let's see, I got a bucket here. I don't think, yeah, they're not gonna fit in there. Let's see here. So they fit in here sideways. And just until I can restack them on there. My wife's home. Can't quite stack them in there. My wife, yeah. Everybody's got early shifts today. Normally she works late shifts, so I guess this will sort of kind of have to do. We get some of the smaller ones in there. We'll do those first. And then we'll do the bigger ones. I mean, the amount of stuff I put in there, it's probably going to soak it all up. And I have one here. Because people are always asking, can you run a cookie through a planer? Well, this one's fairly, semi-green. It did a pretty good job. You got to be careful. You're going across the grains in many different ways. It'll take out some of the sapwood, make it a little rough, but it kind of worked. It kind of worked. Now, I kind of need a set of tongs or something. These gloves aren't the best. Let's see here. We'll do it this way. I'll cheat and just use whatever I got here. See how that's really soaked in good? That's nice and soaked in good. We'll let it sit down here and rest. That's not going to work too good. Plan B. I got a little stick here. I think this will work. Let's get some more wood for the fire here in a second. There we go. It doesn't really fit in there very well. Just to put them on top. Be good enough. Put a couple of these smaller ones in there. And those will fit in the bucket for now. This is how you treat your cookies. Go to Preservation Solutions, and I'll add a link for the solution I'm using to treat these cookies with. I'll leave a link after I post this. It'll be live, and I've got to go back and make it public after it's done. So if you're live, you get to watch it now. If you're not, you're going to have to wait for a while for it. Just keep soaking it over and over and over. I'm going to make sure it's getting on the other side, because it is setting on the other cookie. flip it over. Oh yeah. And that was probably not the greatest idea. But I go through shirts and clothes. I forget to put my old clothes on. I guess that's what happens. Well, let's let them continue to sit there flat. I think I got a few. I got another one down there. I think it's a cherry, a small one. I want to treat. And I got a few more inside. So we'll do a few cherry cookies as well. I think the fire needs a few more logs on it. So nice out today. Take advantage of the nice weather. Just let that soak all the way through. Probably a good 5 minutes per cookie. Probably be good enough. So I'll have to come back and treat them again. Let me let that soak. I'm going to go grab some more firewood real quick. Y'all watch the fire. All right, let's go put this on the fire and get back to doing these cookies. I got one on the side that rolled out. Grab my shovel. Yep. I was hoping to get started on the addition project. I was planning on getting started on that addition on the back here, which is going to be 16 by 28, but unfortunately with my thumb, that's going to be held back a little bit, but I usually heal up pretty quick, so I try to be, I do a lot of stuff by myself anyway, so I got the tractor with the fork, so that will help out a lot. Putting up walls and beams and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be done in a day, so still get it done myself. But for those of you who may not have caught it from the beginning, I'm using pentacryle from Preservation Solutions to treat these freshly cut walnut cookies. I have a bunch of huge cherry cookies in there that we treated back in August, and I'm going to bring those out here in a few minutes and check them, make sure there's not any major cracks or anything in them. I can see one of the top ones and it looks good, but if they're starting to maybe possibly check a little bit, I'm going to probably reapply this, because I'm not in a big hurry. I just want them when they're done to be done nice, you know. So, and we'll check the moisture in them too and see what the moisture has come down to. So, put a See if anybody's on there. I can't really see the chat. I'm not sure if it would pop up or not. I'll take my gloves off. So live chat, all messages are visible. Okay, I can't really tell. I'm using my new cell phone, which hopefully is doing a lot better than it had in the past. So it was not doing too great in the past. Trying to see if there's any other features share. I don't know. Can I share on Facebook? It says I can share on Facebook. So let me see if that works. Oh, get out of my. There's a pop-up in the middle of the screen. So, anyways, working on these walnut cookies. I think I got a cherry cookie here. I'm curious to see. Oh yeah, but see that one's already been dry for a while. See that check? And I mean that's not hateful. It really is honestly hard to keep, and I'm not expecting even with this stuff to be 100% checkless. I am suspecting there'll be some checks in it. This one's probably a little far gone. I don't know. Let me go get the moisture meter and we'll find out where it's at. All right. Moisture meter. Let's see where these walnut cookies are versus where the this cherry cookie that was sitting out. So that's running. You get the base the right way so I can read it. 31 to 29%, something like right in there. Yeah, 29%. This one's down to 11.5. So, like I say, this one's been sitting out a while. It's already checked. I don't know if it'll check anymore or not. But it's not that bad. I mean, you can easily fill that. I know it's definitely light. So, I'm just going to leave that sitting. We'll just let it sit there and do its thing. Where I had it, it's sitting right there. But I'm going to put another one of these walnut pieces in. Oh, man, I am just, it's a miracle I'm not splashing this on myself. I can't use this hand. Woo, that was a close one. I don't know what this is due to your shirt or your clothes. This is a brand new shirt. I just took the tag off it today. Probably wouldn't be the best stuff for my shirt, but probably wouldn't be the end of the world either. All right, I'll put this in here. Push that down so it gets stuff all over top of it. Alright, now let me go grab, so this doesn't get forever long, let me go grab one of the big cherry cookies. Let me go get one of those big cherry cookies that I treated back in August, and let's see where it's at. Here you go, cherry cookie. I'm going to get two out. I got one that's really thick, and I got one that's really thin. So far, I'm really happy. So let me set this big one down here, and I'll set this one here. Now this is the one that was treated They're not very thick. It's about 1 inch thick. I treated this back in August. Okay. It's got a little teeny bit of cup to it. Not bad. And then this one, not 100% fair looking at it as far as the check goes because there's a big knot there. But there's the results. Got a piece of bark in my eye. This is the results of treating. This is a big cookie, and it's about 2.5 inches thick. Now this little defect here, it's got one little check right here. I'm going to go grab another one underneath it. But we treated this with the pentacryl, or pentacryl, or however you want to pronounce it, back in August. So let's see, because the moisture was up around 28%, something like that back then. Let's see how far the moisture has come down since then, and see how well the stuff's working. So we're down to, come on now, get this thing to stick in there, right? We're down to 15%. So we've gone down 17 there. Let's see what it looks like on the outside. 10% here, about 16% here, 8% there. Oh my goodness. 10 or 11% there. So, of course, that explains why maybe this is checking a little bit. This may be getting a little more air to it or something like that. I'd say that's not bad. That's impressive. Because these cookies, I have another stack of cookies similar to this, same tree, same cuts. Some of them, not all of them have this. I've got them up there air drying, and what I did with those is I painted them with anchor seal. And they're stacked up, or they're leaned up against each other right side by side in the building up there, and then I have one laid on top of it. And I might better run up there and grab it, and you'll be able to see the big difference between this and the ones that weren't treated. And I may even have one here in this shop. I don't know. Let me go look. But anyways, this is awesome. I mean, because that is a big cherry cookie, and it is doing fantastic. Now I want to get these things down to around 7-8%. So let's grab this one right here. Get the stuff out of my way. This will impress you here. All right. So, there you go. Cherry cookie, not one single check in this cherry cookie at all. And that is over 6 months ago drying. That is highly impressive to me. There's a little teeny bit, and that might even been there today that I treated it. But these are going to make some beautiful little stools or little teeny tables for, like, you know, like at a bar or something like that, of people to sit around. Maybe 2 people or something like that. This was a nice, huge cherry tree. And I haven't counted the years on it, but I'm pretty sure it's over 50 years old. And this wasn't 100% at the base. It was still up a little ways because the base had some issues. So let's see what the moisture of this one is. And then I'm going to put them back. I think I have one in here that I did not treat. I know I do up there in that building, so I might have to take a walk up there. Let me get this in there. So that one's 18%. What on earth's name? 17%, 13%. Of course, it's a little narrower here to the side. So they've come from about 28 to 30%, and they're down about halfway. So they're It's been about 6 months, so we're about halfway through the drying process. So the key is now is to really watch it, because we're really starting to get down where it's really going to start drying. So far, I'm very impressed. I've already seen now the one that you haven't seen, and I'm going to run up and grab it. And so I know the difference in results. So let's get this cookie out. I think it's soaked long enough. Put another one of the we'll put another one of the walnut cookies in there. Slip one on out from underneath this one here. Let me move it off to the side. That's what I want to do. They've definitely lost a lot of their weight. Now this one right here is pretty much ready. I mean, it's got a little bit of a cup to it. So if you like a little cup in your table, it's a little teeny one. It's not hateful. I just made a couple thin ones just to see. It wouldn't be worth putting through the planer because of the thickness, and I'm looking at the cup is probably a 1/4 inch or so. So, you know, you could make it as kind of like make a neat little seat because it's already cupped. And I did that. I did a couple of these like little seats and took advantage of this little bit of cup right here and made a perfect little seat. I sanded it up and finished it. Perfect. It's got like a little cup in it. Put your rear end right there. You're good to go. So let me go look in here real quick. All right. And here's another cherry cookie. And this cherry cookie here, this one, I treated a little different. I did not use the pentacryl on it. I just simply covered it with anchor seal on both sides. And we'll check the moisture in a second. So I'll hold it up to you, and you're going to see checks that have started in the sapwood all the way around it. Like I say, these still got a ways to go. It's probably from this point on when you're really going to start seeing if it's going to have any checks or not in it. This one, I mean, if that was all that checked when it was all said and done, it still wouldn't be that hateful. But let's see if there's any difference in moisture, because that stuff is, the pentacryl is supposed to make it dry a little faster. So let's find out. Come on. That ain't right. That's at 7%. Wow, if that is true, so it dried a lot faster because simply I didn't add moisture to it. And the pentacryl adds moisture to it, which I'm sure it has to hold for a while as it transfers. But this one right here, 10% in the center. I'm trying to go towards where the heartwood would be, where it would be thicker. So that's 7% around the outside and 10% in there. Well, that is an interesting observation. So those are around 16 to 15%-ish. And this one, I just put anchor seal on it. It has gotten down to about 7 to 8%. it does have these small checks around the outside, and they're not like unlivable. They would be easily to fill with an epoxy. If you put an epoxy resin over it and let it go into these cracks and tape the bottom. So here's the situation. The other ones that were treated with pentacryl were placed horizontal on stickers. Okay. This one was placed on its side, hidden back right next to the other ones, and only had anchor seal put on it. This one is very close to ready to be able to work with. Yet there is about a 2-inch check here. It's about an 1/8 inch. There's some other 1/8 inch checks here and there. 7-8% is pretty good. Yeah, I don't know what the answer to that is. This is the first time using this product, so far, time-wise, if you didn't mind a few little checks and it not being 100% perfect, especially if you're going to epoxy it and you can fill the checks, this would be the way to go as far as time goes. Now, if I were to finish this and then wait, say, a year from now, and those were ready, let's say I finished both of them and made a stool or something out of them, in the long haul, as the weather changed in the building or wherever they're at, whether they're on a patio or not, which one may possibly continue to check more than the other ones? Because like I said, this big cookie here, treated with anchor seal on both sides, stood up on its side, has dried faster with minimal cracking than the pentacryl did. The pentacryl is probably another 11%, maybe 10% more wet at the same period of time. So, and not continue to check, versus when that does dry all the way, the pentacryl ones that are treated with the pentacryl, will they stay more stable and not check more, or will this one check more? I don't know. I mean, this is a trial for me. They reached out to me and asked me to try their product. So far, standing on its side, okay, in a shady area, treated with anchor seal on both sides, I see hardly any deflection as far as from originally when I cut it, okay? You can see it right there. If you, I don't know if you can kind of see. I'll try to hold it up like that, so you can see if there's any cupping in it or not. Very little. Like I say, there's a little bit of checks. This was anchor seal and stood on its side. Versus, let me show you the other. In case you're just coming along, this one was treated with the pentacryl, same period of time, no cupping or anything like that, okay? But it has 0 checks in it. It doesn't have any checks. So the pentacryl, or pentacryl, however you want to pronounce it, has definitely kept it from having any checks. So that's interesting. I got to set these aside so I don't get them mixed up. I'll put those back in a little bit. I need to put another one of my walnut cookies in the solution. It's not quite deep enough yet. It's not coming in over it. I'm going to light to see if it comes up through it on this one, just for the kicks of it. So let me get, for you guys who've come along and maybe just joined in, what we're doing here is we're enjoying a nice fire, and I'm treating some wood cookies, and these happen to be walnut. We're treating them, and I'll be bringing the product up. I'll show you what we're working with. So let me hold it up so you can see it. So this is a solution that we're using right here on the wood cookies that Preservation Solutions sent me to try out. I've used that 5 gallons up, and I just bought a couple other ones and put back in there. We treated some 22 to 24-inch cherry cookies back in August for you guys who weren't tuned in. And I've got some that were coated with anchor seal on both sides, just one. And then the rest of them, I got a whole stack of about 12 of them that were treated with the pentacryl. And they don't have any checks in them, but they're a little higher right now. They're at about 17 to 16%, whereas the one with the anchor seal has some checks in the outer edges, but it's down to like 7 or 8%, which is crazy. I do have another stack of them in my building up here. It's about another 10 of them that are just sitting on their sides, and I have one that just was never treated with anything sitting on the top. So I'm going to grab some more firewood. I'm going to go ahead and take the brush and cover the top of this. Let it soak in there. And I'm going to run up to the building. It's right up there while you guys enjoy the fire. And I'm going to go grab the one that was nothing was done to it. It was left right out in the open air. Worst case scenario for a cookie. So I'm going to go grab that after I do some fire maintenance. And then we'll go from there. I'm treating these walnuts right now with that product. So firewood. I went up to the building real quick. You guys enjoy the fire, and we'll check out that other cherry cookie. All right. Put some more fire wood on the firewood on the fire. There we go. All right, I'm going to run up and grab that other cherry cookie to compare with those. I'll be right back. need a daggone, I need a solution for that daggone range building / building. I don't have any power up there. And I just happen to know exactly where this was sitting up on the shelf. I didn't have no lights. My phone's down here and no flashlight, nothing. So I need a solution, like a solar powered panel that I can put the lights inside. So here is what happens to a big old cookie like that when it's not treated. So ends up with some pretty bad checks in it. Not saying these checks couldn't be, you couldn't fill them with resin, but why do that when you can have a very nice looking cookie? So let me get the moisture meter out, because that's always the key, is to compare everything and see where it's at. So you'll be able to compare this untreated, just thrown up on a shelf. Come on, read. Seem to be having a reading issue here. This thing has a flashlight on it. I could have carried it up there. Oh, I can't get it to read anything. I know it ain't 0. It might be down too low. Let me try this over here. Wow. Huh. I can't get it to read any moisture. That means it's lower than 5%. Wow, let's check this here. 10%. All right, let's try it on a different function. Packing. Packing obviously is a lot drier. Should go down low. Wow. Now it's got me really curious. Let's see here. Building. Wow. It's below 5% because it won't read on the meter. Let's try softwood, even though it's not softwood. Wow. Below 5%, it won't read on the meter. And that's using softwood, even though cherry's a hardwood. Now you can see the big checks in it. And some people say, hey, that's character. And then they fill it with epoxy. I mean, it is what it is. That's what we got. Untreated, we have some pretty good checks, but it's down below 5%. So, if that would work for you, then that's all you have to do is just throw it up in a shady spot, stand it up on its side, and leave it. It's not really what I want. I want the one with no checks in it. So, there you go. That's kind of the story here. Yeah, that's interesting. And now different species will act different. I've had pretty good luck with cherry. And I've had smaller cherry cookies that I just stuck in a building with anchor seal on each side. It's our paint building, our craft building. It's all sheetrocked and everything. And I've taken cherry cookies and just leaned them up against the wall in there and let them dry. And they have some checks, but they're not bad. So I guess it just depends on. Oh, dang! I can't get my hand under that thing. I'm going to end up wearing it. I'm not supposed to use this thumb. I don't want to get any of that solution into my open wound. Or it's not open, it's sewn shut, but either way, just don't want to do that. I'm going to grab the, it's going to be a long video, So I guess you guys are just going to have to skip through it, but there's a lot of information to cover here since we did quite a few different cookies, and we got several different scenarios going on. In order to cover everything, it's just going to take a little time. So, about, I don't know, I have to look back at the videos. I think it might have been 2 weeks. It may have only been a week. I brought some black oak that I cut up. And I've got some in there that I've already treated. I want to look at them again. Some of those, I'm going to take some of this leftover and do a second treatment. Before I did all the preliminary treatments on all the other ones, and you can see the results. I'm expecting these medium-sized medium-sized walnuts, and then if I had some cherries this size, they're going to have 0 checks in them when they're done. Pretty impressive for cherries that are 2.5 inches thick, 24 to 22 inches, to have no checks at 6 months and to be as dry as they are. That is impressive for sure. I'm going to put some of this stuff back when I go in there. You guys just sit back and enjoy the fire. Let's see, this was the second one. I got to put it back in order. Alright, let's see here. I'm going to grab just out of curiosity. I know it's a long video, but you know how to fast forward it. These are some of the black oak cookies I treated about 2 weeks ago. Now, some of this situation on these black oaks, some of these black oaks already had a little bit of checking. You got to remember, this tree had got oak wilt, and this is a way, way upper branch. So it had a little bit of defect in it just from the get-go. So let's not judge those totally to be 0 checks. What I do want them to do is I want them to dry, and what I'm hoping is it simply will dry and become more stable, and those checks will just close up or be minimal. So far so good. Got one more walnut to treat here. And then I'm going to retreat some of the black oak, and I'm not going to do that on camera because the video is already long enough as it is. That, my wife's home, and I want to go spend some time with her. So I don't want to spend all night out here. And I'll do a quick recap once we get this one out. We go put this other cherry back. I'm gonna treat about half of the black oak. I'm gonna retreat, do a second treatment about 2 weeks later. That way, I'm trying all different ways of doing the treatment and different type of treatments for you guys. So you guys can look back at this video, and you can make a decision on what kind of products you want to buy, or what kind of chances you want to take, and how you want to treat your cookies. I got some in there that I call branch. They're called branch. I call them branch spurs. where the branch came up on an angle up the main log, and I sliced through them so it left an oval. I had really, really, really good results. There was a white oak we took down. It was down for about a year. I went down and got it because there was some leftover parts, and I cut some branch spurs on them. There was a little teeny bit of spalton, but they were fairly dry, or semi-dry. They were around 22, 24%. I treated them with the wood juice, which is another product that they sell, because they were lower, and I had absolutely fantastic results. 0 checks out of them. I had about 12 of them, and over half of them have been sold already, and people love them. And they're about this big around. They make great table decor for putting candles on or whatever. So basically, I've got some solution left, and it's kind of dirty, so I don't want to put it back in the main bucket, and I don't have a strainer, so I'm going to retreat as many of these as I can. These black oak cookies. I'm just going to kind of retreat them, and going to mark which ones I did. This is another test. And I'm thinking the oak is probably going to be a little more reactive than the cherry. Cherry and walnut is not too hard to dry. It's not hatefully hard to dry. You saw that one big cookie, you won't even read on my moisture meter. That means it's below 5%. So, pretty impressive. Because like I said, it's only been 6 months, and that daggone cherry cookie's completely dry. Now, we went through winter, and winter is probably the best time to dry stuff. It's so dry out. But it can dry it too fast, and it was in a building with no windows in the shade. So that's probably the best scenario for that to dry and not have too much damage. Like I said, it has checks in it, but none of the checks are horrible. You know, nothing that you couldn't finish the top, put a nice epoxy on it, you know, fill the checks with a color or something like that if you wanted to have a little fun. Some people like the checks in them, because then they can fill them with, you know, different colors and stuff. So it's all personal preference, I guess. So far I've been impressed with the, let me get it up here in case you haven't been following from the beginning. Let's go ahead and do a sponsor plug here. Since they did sponsor this, and they did provide this solution for the channel, along with a bunch of other products, which I'll be going through when I get some lumber that will meet the right criteria for it. But they did send me the wood juice, which I have used. Like I said, I use it on those white oak branch spurs is what I call them, and it did fantastic. So far I've been very super pleased with their product. I mean, we've tried to dry cookies for years, and we're always having to deal with the checks, you know, having to fill them with stuff. And I mean, we mainly just do walnut and cherry. We've tried some oak, and oak will just split all the pieces. So the big test will be, and we don't cut down many black oaks in this huge tree, so I don't want to lose these cookies. They're going to be very unique and one of a kind. So I want to treat them with extra care. You know what I mean? So there's one of them, and I'm hoping the bark will stay on. That's why I wanted to go ahead. The last time I just kind of painted it on. This time I wanted to soak it really good to have the bark included in it. So that's it. There's your black oak cookie. Cherry cookies, walnut cookies are all ready to go put in storage and dry. And you get this glove off without pulling my finger condom off. whoever invented these things is awesome, so I can wash my hands and do stuff without having to worry about getting into my freshly cut finger with stitches. So thanks for all you guys that prayed for it to work out successfully. Looks like I'm not going to lose the upper half of my finger. The cleaning, there was just enough fluid refilling it, like you press your fingernail, and then you let it go, and it re-pinks. So it was a little slow. It was a little on the border, and it's taken me kind of massaging it and squeezing it so it kind of pumps blood in there. And so far I've got full feeling everywhere around, and I was probably half a millimeters away from probably losing my upper part of my thumb. So yeah, that's one I haven't done yet, and I'm not trying to check any list off, that's for sure. I am definitely not trying to check any list off for injuries. I've had enough of them. I've had enough. And I try to really avoid them. But accidents are accidents for a reason. They call them an accident. It does happen. Doesn't always in your control. Things can happen suddenly. So I'm going to let this fire burn out. I'm going to treat the rest of the black oak cookies, do a second treatment. Then I'm going to go in and hang out with my wife. So you guys take care. It's been kind of a long, over an hour, but sometimes there's so much to cover in these videos, it's really hard to just do a short video. And yeah, I guess I could do a couple short videos and make more videos, you know. But this is the time I had, so this is the time that I took to do this. So you guys know how to hit the fast forward, so it doesn't matter how long the video is. You can find highlights or just skip through it till you get the information that you want. So you know how to do that. So anyways, even an old geezer like me knows how to do that. So be blessed. Thank you for the well thoughts for my thumb. Appreciate you. Hopefully, if you're choosing to use this product, this has helped you a little bit on making a decision on how you want to proceed with your cookies and some of your woodwork. So be blessed. Be safe. Over and out. Let's see if I can get to end. There we go. See ya.